If you're starting your own Amazon FBA business, one of the areas you may be struggling with is accurately predicting how many sales you may make if you launch a particular product. And this is an absolutely essential skill to develop, as if you don't order enough inventory, you're going to run out of stock too soon, your launch will fail, and you'll have a big gap period between batches of inventory, which isn't helpful. Or if you order too much inventory, you're taking an unnecessary financial risk. Also, you're going to have expectations of what you want from your first product. So you need to know how to accurately predict what is possible if you have a successful product. So in this video, I've got 4 different products to show you. I'm going to show you how to predict sales using Amazon's own data, and also explain some of the other things that you may not have considered that you need to be aware of, as it's not just as straightforward as looking at one column. There are other things you need to take into account. So we're going to start with the flower vase niche as the first example. So I'm going to bring up X-Ray from Helium 10. And I think X-Ray, to be fair, although I recommend it as probably the best analysis tool for Amazon, sometimes having too much data can be confusing, especially for new Amazon sellers. So you've got recent purchases, parent level sales, ASIN sales, parent level revenue, ASIN revenue. So a new seller looking at this, which one do you go by? So I completely understand. So I want to try and strip things back, focus on that first, and then explain the extras that you really need to pay attention to. So these 4 columns here: parent level sales, ASIN sales, parent level revenue, and ASIN revenue. This is Helium 10's data. They are basically extrapolating this data based on their own algorithm, probably based on what they know of people who use Helium 10's, what their actual sales are, and then they look at the BSR of other products and try to have a best guess as to what sales those products are generating. Whereas this recent purchases column, this is Amazon's own data. Now, it's not 100% accurate, as they only give you a minimum figure. But for most of these, you know it's going to be between the figure they give you and 100 more. So for example here, 100 plus means 1 to 200, 200 plus means 2 to 300, whereas 50 plus only means between 50 and 100. And then as you get further up to like 1,000 plus, 2,000 plus, it goes up in higher increments. So it is very, very helpful. And for me, this is the most accurate guide as to how many sales you can expect. But again, like I mentioned already, it's not just as straightforward as looking at this one column, because there are other factors at play. So I wanted to start with the flower vase niche, as it is Mother's Day in about 2 days. It's the end of March, which means this product is going to be seeing a lift in sales. It is potentially a Mother's Day gift. And that is the first additional issue that I want to discuss, and that is many sellers don't consider seasonality. So if we bring up, this is the search volume history for flower vase, and I like the search volume history as a way to gauge seasonality, as that is real world data again from Amazon. So that search volume is going to go up and down throughout the year as demand increases and falls away. So during things like Mother's Day and Valentine's Day, flower vases should spike, and then throughout the rest of the year, when people don't have a real need for flower vases, it should drop off. So let's take a look at the seasonality. So this is the 1 year view, and sure enough, there we go. February the 15th, that peaked. It's probably lagged by a day or two, but you can see a massive pickup for Valentine's Day, which makes perfect sense. And we're picking up again now for Mother's Day. And if I put this on the all-time view, we can see every single year a February spike followed by a March spike, February spike, March spike, February spike, March spike. So why do you have to be aware of this? Well, there's 2 reasons really. Number one is you don't want to order a seasonal product that then sells either a lot more or a lot less than you're expecting. And number 2, you need to check the seasonality so you're always aware of when you're doing your analysis. So I'm aware at the moment, if I try to analyze this niche, I'm doing it during a peak period, which isn't helpful. So if I'm considering selling this product year round, I may be better waiting 3 to 4 weeks for this data to fall away. So I'm analyzing it during the, I guess what you'd say, the non-elevated period, because then if I'm happy with this demand, I don't mind the occasional peak. So there's some types of seasonality that are absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine to maybe have a Christmas peak or a peak for Valentine's Day or for Mother's Day. What I try to avoid is products that have much longer seasonal peaks. So a good example of this are these light up dog collars, which is a product that actually I did look at once, but the price point is too low. And also in the UK, if we look at the search volume history for light up dog collar and put it over the 1 year view, You can see it starts to pick up in September, October, as the nights start drawing in and it starts getting darker, peaks all the way through the winter, then starts improving January, February, March until we get back to kind of the lowest levels. So what that's clearly showing is there's strong seasonality depending on how much daylight we've got in the UK. So for me, this is a sort of product you definitely want to avoid, because dealing with 6 months of seasonality at a time, why would you want a product that doesn't sell for 6 months and then does sell for 6 months? It's just not worth getting into. Whereas a product that peaks, once or twice per year for a different reason, whether it's Q4, is absolutely fine. So yes, these are accurate sales figures for this current period, but always look at the seasonality to put that into perspective. So the third product that I want to show you is a back massager. And this is to drive home an example that I do see in a lot of niches, and that is that not all products are comparable. So although this is the back massager niche and Amazon has returned what it deems products that sell well when a customer searches for back massager, you'll see they're very different. So this one here is a back massager. This one here is a neck one. This one here is more of a lower back. This is a gun you can use anywhere on your body. Come down a bit further, and we've got one which is a seat style one, and this one's a pad style one. And the problem with this is if products aren't directly comparable, like we saw in the vase niche, I mean, these are all vases. Glass vase, glass vase, glass vase, etc. Maybe there's a 2-pack there, so you have to take that into account. And the same with the light up dog collars. These products are comparable, but these products to me aren't comparable. These are quite different types of products. So it's not just a simple case of looking at the recent purchases column, because yes, this one might be selling 1,000 units, but it's a very different type of product to this one. So what we like to see in the search results is what I talk about is a landing zone, which is at least 5 products that are directly comparable, that are at a similar price point and have similar demand levels. Then that gives you a bank of evidence that you can target. If you've got 5 products that look the same, have a similar price point and sell a similar amount of units per month, you can aim for that. If you've only got 1 or 2 examples, there can be so much variability as to how they're achieving those sales. Whereas with at least 5 examples, there is a very good chance you could achieve something similar. So you have to always view recent purchases in context of seasonality and whether the products are comparable, and also the price point as well. There's no point looking at, for example, if we go back to the vase niche and bring up X-ray, there's no point looking at these top 2 results here and going, oh, I can sell 600 units per month or 500 plus units per month. Yes, maybe you can if you can sell £11.90 or £11.99, which as a private label seller is very unlikely you're going to be able to do that, because we're buying from the Chinese factories who are selling at this price. You're going to be more like £20 or £25 to make a profit in this niche. So you have to look at the product at the price point you're going to be selling. Don't base your sales estimates on these low price products. Look at the ones that are selling at that sort of price point. That's the sort of thing that you're going to be targeting. You have to see what is possible. And like I say, you want to see at least evidence of 4 or 5 sellers achieving similar things with similar products. Now, this fourth one, this is something that a lot of sellers do overlook. And just before I go through this, I just want to show you the Helium 10 offer that ends in 3 days at the end of March. They've just increased the offer to offer 35% off instead of 30% off. So 35% off for up to 12 months. You don't have to sign up for 12 months. You can sign up for a month if you want. But you're going to need product research software to find your first product. So this is one of the best times to sign up. There'll be a link in the pinned top comment that will automatically apply this discount. But just going back to this fourth product, handbags. Let's bring up X-ray from Helium 10 and try and drive home what I'm trying to show you in this particular niche. What a lot of sellers overlook is that when variations are involved, which is what's happening in this niche, sales become a lot trickier to interpret. So we've got the recent purchases here. The problem with this is this only applies to the individual ASIN that is in the search results. And if we go to the search results, this product here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus a number more. There's 9 different colors. There's 9 different ASINs for this particular product. And the same with these. These have all got variations, lots of different colors. So the recent sales is only telling you the sales for that top, or the main ASIN that has been selected. So that's why we can't just go blindly off of that. And if we look at then the Helium 10 stats, we can see the discrepancy between parent level sales, which is all of the ASINs for that product combined, versus the individual ASIN sales. So that means you can't blindly go off of this figure, because to get ranked in this niche, these listings are going to be pulling basically ranking juice from all of the variations. So lots of variations making sales, and that all combine to help decide where these products appear in the search results. So I generally avoid niches where there are lots of variations, as it can be very, very difficult to compete. I don't mind if there's a couple of products with variations, but in a niche like this, where if you look at these columns here, parent versus ASIN, there is a discrepancy in pretty much every single listing. So all of these listings have got variations. I would stay well clear of that. So keep all of those things in mind when you are looking at the sales estimates for any particular niche. As if you, like I said earlier in the video, if you under order, it's going to be very hard to launch your product if everyone else is out selling you at that particular time, or if you over order, you're taking an unnecessary financial risk. Now, just two final things to wrap up the video. If you go to FBAelite.com and click on the course link, I mentioned over the past couple of months I've been working heavily on updating the course. I've recorded over 90 new videos for the course. So this has replaced a lot of the old content, and there are now over 130 videos in the course, plus lots of extras as well. And if you go to the preview link at the top, you will see there is now a huge amount of content in there that will teach you everything you need to know about starting your own Amazon FBA business. And I did say that once the updates were done, I am going to be increasing the price of the course. So I am going to be doing it at some point in the next few weeks. I don't know exactly when. So this is pretty much your last chance to get it at this price, as the price is going to be going up. And also, last week's video was super, super important. It talked about a couple of traps that new sellers keep falling into that basically destroy the Amazon FBA business. And for some reason, not many people actually watch that video. So I'd highly recommend watching that video, as if you do make the mistake in that video, then your business is doomed to fail. So I'm going to pop up that video now, and I'll see you guys over there.